Hi there, Watch and Ride team, Fraser here. Today we're going to be diving into a snowboard yoga series with the help of Moksha Yoga here.
Hi guys, my name's Jane and this is Chanel. Yoga means a lot of different things to different people, but it's super complementary paired with snowboarding. So one thing that really makes it stand out is the mindfulness linked with breath awareness. So as you move in and out of the postures, take it really slow, be gentle with yourself, there's no need to force anything. We're going to do 2 different series, yoga sequences, and they can be done at any time of the day. They can be done before you ride, after you ride, or even on a day when you're not riding. So follow along. This one's going to be the active sequence, so a little bit more movement and more deep breathing linked with the movement. So let's get started. We'll start at the top of the mat, relax your shoulders, bring your hands to the center of your chest. Take a big inhale through your nose, and as you exhale through your mouth, link the hands together and press down through your wrists. You can look down here too. As you inhale through your nose, reach forwards and up. And bring the palms of your hands together and exhale through your mouth. Linking the hands at your chest, press down through your wrists and look down. And inhale, reach forwards and up. Repeating the same movement, exhale out through your mouth. And inhale through your nose. So your feet can be slightly apart or together, depends on how you feel more stable. We start with a breathing exercise because it's really the mindfulness and breathing that makes it yoga, not just stretching. Last time, big breath in as you reach up and look up. The neck is part of the movement as well. And exhale all the air out. Now reach your arms to the side and take a big breath in as you reach up. Clasp your hands together at the top and exhale, reach over to the right. Stay here and keep breathing. Draw your kneecaps up so that your legs are engaged. Take another inhale breath. Reach as you exhale. And inhale, come up through the middle and over to the left side. So every time you breathe in and breathe out, there are micro movements. This enhances the posture and it enhances that body connection. Body awareness, which makes a lot of sense with snowboarding. Take another inhale, reach as you exhale, and then come up through the middle, reach really high. Clasp the hands together again, take the hands to the back of your head. Press your head into your hands and your hands back into your head and begin to lift your chest up. Still, your feet can be apart or together, and a little micro bend to your knees is going to help with that stability and engagement of the legs. Think about lengthening from your hips to your shoulders. Inhale to look up and exhale to reach back a little bit. Come up through the middle. Release your hands. Take them by your side. Roll your shoulders up towards your ears and soften them down the back. Inhale to reach high. And exhale to fold forwards. Bend your knees as you do so. So these blocks are really awesome. Thanks to Half Moon for supplying those. If you can't quite touch the ground comfortably, you can either bend your knees or take the block underneath your hands. Bring a little bit of the weight forwards into your toes and then back into your heels. Let your neck go so that your head is heavy. Even in these moments of stillness, stay really close to your breath. Notice how the breath feels in your body. Exhale here and take an inhale to come up halfway. Exhale to plant your hands underneath your shoulders and step back to a plank position. We're coming towards a sun salutation now and we'll go through it 3 times. So this is a high plank pose. Breathe in your high plank, and then as you exhale, lower your knees down and lower your chest all the way down to the ground. Baby cobra position, you lift your chest and use the strength of your legs to lengthen your back. Exhale to lower down, press into your hands and come up through your hands and your knees back to downward facing dog. Stay here for a few moments and keep breathing. So all of these positions take time. There's no need to rush through anything. This is a shorter sequence of 15 or 20 minutes. The intention is that you're able to become familiar with the poses in your body and then follow the written prompts so that you can practice in your lounge room before you get going, in your bedroom in the evenings, and maybe even put on some music of your own. Take an inhale to rise up high onto your toes and an exhale to walk to the top of your mat. Inhale for a halfway lift and an exhale to lower back down all the way. Inhale to rise up, reach your arms to the sides and look up. And exhale to fold all the way forwards. So now we're really linking one breath with one movement. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands under your shoulders and step back to plank. Take an inhale and plank first to lengthen your spine. Exhale to lower down. And an inhale for an upward facing dog. Exhale takes you back to downward facing dog. Press into your hands and lift your hips. Inhale here and exhale here. There's a lot of lengthening happening in the spine by pressing into the hands and drawing the legs back, really drawing the backs of the legs back, lowering your heels. Your gaze can be around the middle of the mat. Take an inhale, exhale to bend your knees and travel to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, relax back down. Reach your arms to the side and come all the way up. Look up as you do so, and exhale, fold forwards. Same thing again. Last time, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands and step back to plank. Inhale and plank. Exhale to lower down. You can drop your knees at any time. And inhale into that baby cobra shape or upward facing dog. Press back to downward facing dog. Inhale here and exhale here. Straightening your arms and straightening your legs as much as you can. Keeping your hips really high. The hips are the peak of the posture. The back of your neck is long. And you can feel the breath coming all the way in and all the way out. Inhale to rise high up onto your toes and exhale to step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift and exhale, lower. Inhale to come all the way up, reach to the sides, look up and lift up. This time your hands can come to the center of your chest. Roll your shoulders again onto your back, constantly creating space in the front body. Feet are together or hip distance apart. Bend your knees and sit back into chair position. Your hands can remain at the center of your chest, or you can reach them really high. So you can see how similar this is to a snowboarding stance and how there's really similar muscles that are engaging.
This one's super nice to teach you that nice neutral position of your pelvis and your spine, because that's the optimal stance that we can move freely from when we're on the board.
So when we practice yoga, there's a lot of fluidity and less rigidity. Same thing as when you're on your board. The way that the inhale comes in fluidly and the exhale goes out fluidly. Embracing softness across the body, even as you're engaging muscles. Take another inhale to reach really high, and an exhale to fold forwards over your legs, straightening your legs. Plant your hands underneath your shoulders, take an inhale, and exhale, step your right leg back for a lunge position. Lower your right knee to the ground, and walk your left foot forwards a little bit so that you have a nice long stance. Inhale to rise your arms up high, and draw your whole torso back. The hips stay low and there's a deep bend in your left knee. Your back foot, your right foot, can either be toes tucked under or the top of the foot can press down, but both legs are active. So even as we're still, continue to come back to the focus of your breath. It's easy to become distracted time and time again, but this is part of the practice. Take an inhale here and reach high, and an exhale to bring your hands down to frame your left foot. Extend your right leg, look forwards and step forwards. Inhale for a halfway lift, and an exhale to plant your hands under your shoulders and step your left leg back. Lower your left knee down, wriggle your right foot forwards, and then use your inhale to rise up. So this intentional placement of all your different body parts is very similar to this intentional movement as you're on your snowboard. Practicing body awareness with breath. You can hold these poses for as long as you like, but really there's no need to rush through anything. Take another inhale to reach high. Exhale to stay here. You can see how Chanel has her hands together and Fraser has his hands apart. This is a modification and you choose what's best for you on that day. Another inhale. Exhale, bring your hands down to frame your front foot. Extend into your left leg. Look forwards and step forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, step back to plank position. Inhale and plank to get that long spine. Exhale to lower down, lowering your knees down whenever you want, or lowering down into chaturanga, pulling forwards through and up into your back bend, baby cobra, or this is upward facing dog. Pull the belly in and up to lift your hips up and back to downward facing dog. Stay here and keep breathing. Even if you were to do just one pose every day, downward facing dog would be a great pose to choose. Bring your feet together, ankles are going to touch and your big toenails are going to touch. Looking back at your feet, fan your toes out so that you have lots of space between your toes as much as possible. So like the little toes are drawing away from each other and the big toes are drawing towards one another. Come up high onto your toes and then bring your knees down. You can keep weight in your hands or you can sit back onto your heels. So this is a really strong position and it's the one pose in yoga practice where stabbing and jabbing pain is alright. If you're feeling a lot of intense sensation in your feet, you're in the right place and it means that you need to do it more.
Especially after being stuck in snowboard boots all day, this one is amazing.
It's also really great for your knees. So if you're suffering from uncomfortable knees or pain in your knees, start to pay attention to your feet and creating more space in your feet. You can link this pose with a chest opener. We'll take our hands behind, clasp your hands together, keep your elbows bent, draw your hands down and lift your chest up. Keep breathing. You can have a soft belly when you breathe in. There's a natural firming when you breathe out. Creating that core connection. Take an inhale and look up, reach your hands back, and an exhale to bring your hands forwards. I'd encourage you to stay in that position as long as you can. Shake your feet out. You can tap the tops of your feet if you want. Bring your ankles to touch, and now we stretch the tops of your feet. So sit back on your heels again. Check in with your knees. If this is uncomfortable for your knees or there's a sensation in your knees that doesn't feel right, you can take a block and sit on your block between your hips and your heels. If it feels okay for you, you can take your hands behind you. This begins to feel like a quad stretch. And if it's a possibility, you can lift your knees up. This is going to exaggerate the stretch in the top of your feet. So we're really countering all of the repetitive action that happens in the day on the slopes. And this is the key to being able to snowboard for the rest of your life. You can come forwards back onto your hands and your knees. Remove the block if you're sitting on a block. You can also use a pillow. Stretch your legs back to downward facing dog. Take an inhale to reach your right leg high behind you, and an exhale to step the right foot forwards. This time coming up into a high lunge, take an inhale to rise your arms up. Exhale to stay here. So this begins to feel a little bit like a balancing pose, really helping you prepare for the mountain. Take an inhale. As you exhale, open up into Warrior Two. So now we're beginning to open the hips up. The right knee can stay where it is, and the outside edge of your left foot grounds down. So the left toes are facing to the side and your right toes are facing forwards. Left arm is reaching back and right arm is reaching forwards. There's an even amount of opening in the front body as there is in the back body, and an even amount of effort in the front leg as there is in the back. Take a big breath in. Stay for your breath out. Now we'll switch to the other side. So inhale to straighten the right leg. Pivot the toes to both face towards the same direction, and then turn on the left heel to face the back of the mat. Bend into your left knee. Push down through the outside edge of your right foot. The Warrior Two stance can be longer than a lunge, so give yourself the grace to take the time and find the right foundation for you. Where your eyes land is all a part of it as well, much the same as when you're on your snowboard. You want to look in the direction that you're going. You can stay here for as long as what you're comfortable, making sure that the bent knee is stacked over the front heel. Bones line up with bones. Take another inhale. Stay for your exhale. And then straighten your left leg. Pivot the ankles to face the side. Clasp your hands behind you. Reach your hands down and look up. Really straightening the legs. We're getting into your hamstrings a little bit more now. You can take your hands to your hips for a bit more stability. Bend your knees slightly and begin to fold forwards. This is a wide-legged forward fold. Slight bend to the knees helps to really activate the muscles around the joints, especially the knee joint. This is another opportunity for a block. You can take the block underneath your hands so that you're able to bring the weight forwards slightly. Shift the weight forwards into your toes and back into your heels, and notice how this feels different in your legs. Bend your knees, walk your feet in slightly, so heel toe in. Turn the toes out, keeping the heels a little closer, and then sit down into a squat position. So the knees are going to go out, and then you bring your elbows on the inside of your knees, bringing your hands to the center of your chest. This is a really strong pose that's super beneficial. If you'd rather sit on a pillow or sit on your block, then that's a great modification. You want your whole sole of your foot to be connected to the mat. If this pose feels totally inaccessible, modify it with the block and come down as far as you can and keep practicing. It's really important. Breathe to lift your chest a little higher. Let your hips be heavy and press down into your heels. Take one more inhale. Stay for your exhale. Bring your weight forwards into your hands and then extend your legs. Walk your feet together. Face the front of the mat. Take an inhale and an exhale. And inhale to come all the way up to standing. Exhale, bring your hands to the center of your chest. We'll do one more flow. So inhale, reach high. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, step back to plank. Inhale in your plank position and exhale to lower down. It's strong and it's controlled by the core. Pull forwards through and up into your back bend and push back to downward facing dog. Reach your left leg high and step the left foot forwards between your hands. Inhale to rise up. So now we've completed the cycle of a lunge on both sides. We've done warrior two on both sides and a wide-legged forward fold and a squat. Just make sure you do balance it side to side. There's different ways of coming into the postures, and there's a different sequence that you can play around with yourself. Take another breath in to reach high, and then exhale to bring your hands down to frame the front foot. Step back to downward facing dog. And breathe that length into your spine. Reach your right leg high behind you and draw your right knee towards your right wrist for pigeon pose. So you're lowering your right shin down and then lowering your left leg down behind you. First, stay in proud pigeon and you press your hands down to lift your chest up. There's a lot of lengthening action happening in your spine. And if you feel any sensation in your knees here that doesn't feel quite right, first bring awareness into your feet by drawing your toes towards your shin, or come more onto your right hip. You can also take a block underneath the back hip, so that slight elevation takes a little bit of pressure off your knee. Draw your right hip back and draw your left hip forwards. Keep the length in your spine and then fold forwards. You can make a little bit of a pillow with your hands. You can rest your head on something like a block or a pillow. Or you can stack your fists. We're looking for an opening in the back of the right hip. There's a really small muscle deep in your butt called the piriformis. You'll know when you find it.
Oh, yeah.
I encourage you to stay here for as long as you can. Choose to get really interested in your breath. Choose to build the focus now that you'll have with you on the mountain for the day, or to really unwind to integrate from your day. Exhale to feel that grounding action, and then use your inhale to come back up into proud pigeon. Taking your time to come out of the posture, tuck the left toes underneath. Take an inhale first, and then exhale, press back to downward facing dog. Pedal out the legs side to side, and then reach your left leg high behind you. Draw the left knee towards your left wrist, lowering your shin down, lowering your right leg down and extending it long behind you. Take time in pigeon pose to feel the length from your hips to your shoulders, taking the block underneath your left hip if you need a little bit more support. Keep the action in the legs. Now it's left hip back and right hip forwards. Keep lengthening the spine, especially the lower back. You can even look up to open through the throat and the chest, and then fold forwards and create that pillow for your forehead again.
I find the breathing so important for this one. Like when I first started, you guys almost like grimacing in my face with this one, but just to breathe and make sure you stay nice and relaxed in the face. So
Yeah.
you're grinning and bearing through it.
That's where that fluidity comes in instead of rigidity. You can breathe through it. It takes practice, but that's what we're here for. Most of these poses would be in a yoga class that you would attend at a yoga studio. They're all in the Moksha series if you choose to come to Moksha Kelowna or another Moksha studio or Moto studio across the world. We practice in a hot room mostly, and that also feels really good on the body. Feel your exhale leave your body, stay with it to the very end of the exhale, and then use your inhale to rise up and come out of the pose. Ground down through the palms of your hands, tuck the left toes under, and then press up and back to downward facing dog. Stretch your legs back. We're pretty warm now, so really move towards the sensation. Bend your knees, look forwards and step to the top of the mat and come to seated facing forwards. Open your legs wide, take the inside of your left, bring your right foot to the inside of your left leg. Take your hands behind you, open the chest, feel your hips on the ground. Open your hips up a little bit more. Like turn your left leg out to the side a bit more. Yeah, good job. So this is a two-part shape. The first part of it is a side stretch. So take your left hand to your left shin. Keep your chest open and reach your right arm up and over. We're targeting the back body now as well as a hip opener. Your right hand can come to the back of your head and you can press your head into your hand and your hand into your head. So there's a long opening happening all down the right side body. You'll notice in some shapes that the breath becomes a little bit restricted, but stay with it. There's no need to go deeper if you can't keep a full breath in and a full breath out. This is part of keeping the body really calm and receptive. Exhale first, then use your inhale to bring your right arm back up, bring your torso back up, and then turn the torso to face over the left leg. This now is turning into a twist. Inhale to reach your right arm high, and exhale to reach your right hand towards your left shin. Check in here, take an inhale, and then if you exhale, twist a little bit more over towards the left. You can take your forehead down towards your left knee, and we're really targeting a very specific area of the back here. Can you feel that?
Oh, yeah.
Begin to guide your left ribs back behind you and your right ribs forwards and down. Be gentle with yourself. As much as the intention is to snowboard for the rest of your life, we have the intention that you'll do yoga for the rest of your life too, so there's no need to rush. There's no need to force your body into any shape. Exhale here, and inhale to come back up. Take your hands behind you, feel the stability in your hands, lift your chest, and then change sides, extending your right leg and bringing the sole of your left foot to the inside of your right thigh. Inhale to lift your chest up. Take your right hand towards your right shin. Reach your left arm up and over, either reaching your fingertips towards your toes, or you can take your hand to the back of your head and press the head into the hand. Doesn't matter where your right hand lands, it can rest on your knee, on the inside of the leg, the outside of the leg, the shin, or all the way to the toes. These two are quite flexible, but it's really all about flexibility of the mind. There's no need to compare yourself or judge the way that your shape looks compared to anybody else. The most important part is that you're doing it. Consistency is really key, so stay with it for a long amount of time and you'll notice the difference. Exhale here, then inhale to rise up. Take your hands down beside you. Turn your torso now to face over the right leg, so there's a twisting in the middle and the upper spine. The hips stay stable, and then you fold forwards, reaching your left hand towards your right shin. You can stay with a lifted chest, or you can take your forehead closer towards your knee. First, exhale, drawing your low belly in and up to empty out all of the air. Then rise up as you breathe in, feeling that inflation with the air. Turn to face the middle of the mat. Bring the soles of your feet together. This is a very familiar pose, I'm sure, to most of you. You can take your hands behind you, lift your chest high, draw the back body back to open the front body, and let your knees be apart. Keep your feet active by drawing your toes towards your shins. And you can stay here with an active spine, or you can fold forwards, letting it be passive whenever you're ready. The breath really helps and enhances moving the information and the energy around the body, clearing those central channels. Exhale to really let the back of your neck go, and then inhale to press into your hands and come up. Draw your knees together using your hands. And then extend your legs long and come to lying on your back. Bend your knees and find the soles of your feet on the mat. Let your feet be slightly apart. Knock your knees a little bit to the right as you look left, and a little bit to the left as you look right. Bring your legs back through the middle. Extend your left leg long, and hug your right knee into the right side. Even in an active and more fluid yoga practice, it's still important to wind down. You'll notice the difference in your nervous system if you don't take the time to settle down after you've been moving and breathing. You can repeat that whole sequence twice through, or the sun salutations multiple times to get blood flowing and breath moving. Ankle circles are a great addition to this pose, really embracing the range of motion in your ankles, pointing and flexing the foot, and take the big toe like you're drawing a big circle in both directions.
Some interesting cracks and pops.
Yeah, there's always cracks and pops. That's air in the joints and it's perfectly normal. It's best to get it out. You can take your right knee a little bit more to the right, and then back to the middle. And as you lie here for longer, the big muscle in the body called the psoas will begin to let go. If you can breathe deeper into your belly, there's also some benefits here for the digestive system and all the organs in the middle of the body. Begin to draw your right knee over to the left side of the mat and roll into your left side. This is a reclined twist. Lift your hips up and tuck your left hip underneath you a little bit more. And then extend your right arm out to the side with the palm facing up. You can find the full range of motion and the full twist by taking your gaze over to the right. This is a really nice pose to stay in for a longer amount of time. There's an opportunity for a hip opener, it's a twist, and it's also a chest opener. It's a passive position with a lot of benefits. So I invite you to stay here for a while. Exhale first, Then inhale to come back onto your back. Bend both knees. Make sure you bring your hips back through neutral so that you can feel the evenness in the spine, hugging your knees in. Then extend your right leg long and keep your left leg hugged in close. You can take the clasp on top of the knee or behind your knee and feel that heaviness and grounding in the right leg. You can take your left knee out a little bit more to the left and back to the middle. Our bone structure is all different person to person, so there will come this moment in the pose where you know that that's exactly the right spot to stay. And then you consciously ask your left leg to relax. Send the breath deep into your belly and follow it as it leaves the body. Create some circles with your ankle again, embracing those cricks and cracks. Point and flex, and even think about creating space between your toes. What's happening in the feet is the foundation of your body, and it tracks all the way up, all the way to the crown of your head. Sometimes neck pain can start in the feet. Knee pain often originates in the feet. Take an inhale first. And as you exhale, roll onto your right hip, taking your left knee with you over to the right side. Lift your hips up and tuck them underneath you so that you can lie passively in this twist. Reaching your left arm out to the side. You can take the block underneath that top knee. You can use a pillow. It's really great to support yourself in these postures so that the body has a chance to really let go. The movement in the neck is all part of it too. As we look up the mountain and down the mountain, twisting in different directions, the yoga invites us to create more symmetry and balance. Front body to back body and side to side. Take an exhale first, then inhale to come onto your back. Bend both knees, hug your knees in, take your forehead towards your knees and curl in. The last pose we're going to do is called Happy Baby. So you take your forearms between your knees and reach around for the outsides of your feet. Let the soles of your feet come towards the ceiling. Use your strong arms to draw the legs down to the sides of your body. Roll a little bit from side to side. This is a really nice pose too if you only have a few moments and you just want to get a couple of poses in. This is a great one for that. And then whenever you're ready, extend your legs long. Let your arms come to beside your body for Shavasana. It's really important that you include Shavasana at the end of every yoga practice. It's complete relaxation. This is the chance for everything to integrate into your body, for that change to really take effect. So as you close your eyes, let the back of your eyes feel soft. Let the underside of your tongue feel soft so that you can relax your jaw. Release all control around the breath and let the body breathe on its own. Relax all the muscles down into the ground. Simply be the observer of the air arriving and leaving. Perfect to set an alarm of some kind or a timer of some kind for this pose, even if it's 2 minutes. It's really a great opportunity to begin a meditation practice, which has a lot of benefits for itself. Thanks so much for joining for this practice. I hope it serves you. Namaste.
Hi there, Watch and Ride team. If you're looking for any yoga, meditation or health and fitness gear, check out the Watch and Ride store that's linked below in the description. We have an awesome partnership with Half Moon Yoga from Vancouver, BC that delivers the highest quality products possible, and it will really help keep your body in optimal shape for the snowboarding season. I hope you enjoyed that video. We will have many more coming out throughout the snowboarding season of varying lengths and styles to help keep you mobile, limber and pain-free on top of your snowboard. Enjoy the slopes. I hope to catch you out there. See you soon, team.